Today we're in the city of Norwich and we want to find out whether our Slam Sporter makes it as a good daily. I've got 6 challenges that this van has to complete to find out whether it is an ultimate daily driver. Have to be on the ball. The van is a good daily. Dodgy curbs that are going to catch us out. We're going to struggle getting around this corner. Multi-story car parks are renowned for being a to shoppers. Now, as you can see, this curb has claimed a few victims in its time. Rose Lane's a new car park, but I do not like the look of that entrance. That slope is giving me anxiety. One thing not to worry about is the height restriction at this car park, but this slope on the next level will need to be taken with caution. Right, let's give this a go then. Operation drive into the car park. This is really tight. Yeah, not too bad. So it's a little bit tight coming through there. This corner's looking a little bit funny as well. Let's get the ticket. Nice and wide round there. Doing well so far. Now this slope doesn't look like there's too much of an incline, so I don't think we're going to struggle getting around this corner. No scraping at all. Lovely job. Just to prove how confident and how comfortable I was driving the van in the car park, I thought I'd bring it to the very top just to prove a point to how well it has performed at this first task. Challenge 1, successfully park the van in a multi-story car park. Well, it's safe to say we've absolutely smashed it. We got in Rose Lane car park here in the city, absolutely piece of cake, and not a single problem at all. So that is a big thumbs up on the first challenge. So far, the van is a good daily. With the van absolutely annihilating the first challenge, proven that it is, in fact, so far, a good daily driver, we need to move on to the next challenge, which is, I'm sure, very relatable to every guy in the world. So, I'm sure every single one of you has been dragged around B&M with your missus to go and buy all sorts of tat, which is supposedly good, cheap, great. Now, it may seem like a funny task, but if a van can handle B&M shop with your missus, then I think that's worth a tick in my box. Anyway, the B&M in question, from memory, does have quite a big, not a big slope, but a bit of a nasty slope. So it'll be a challenge to see if the van can get in there without any scrapes, bangs, knocks. Because at the end of the day, it is the Slam Sporter. And you can probably see right now I'm bouncing up and down like nobody's business, because there's just simply no suspension, no ground clearance. So we'll catch up when we're at the next location. The van successfully made it into B&M, but it wouldn't be a true test of daily usability without going in there and picking up something that your missus would come in here and buy when you're with her. So let's go in store, buy some junk, and we'll come back out in a minute. Picked up some chocolate orange, some Febreze fabric freshener. Now I would say, in my missus books, that's definitely a tick. And another reason to prove the Transporter is an awesome daily driver. Challenge 3. order food from a drive-through service. Now, as you can see by the speed bump, getting into this retail park was not easy. Again, height restrictions not a problem for us here, but we've come to the Costa drive-through, and as you can see by the width of this drive-through, I don't think we're going to have an issue. Let's treat ourselves to a Costa drive-through then. Will we get through? Is there some speed bumps? Is there some dodgy curbs that are going to catch us out? Does look like it is quite new, which means it's probably going to be quite spacious. So, right, let's get a drink. What should we have?
Hi there, welcome to Costa. What can I get started for you today?
Hiya, can I just get a regular latte, please?
Yeah, of course. Anything else?
No, that's it, thank you.
Can't tempt you with any millionaire shortbread at all today?
No, thank you.
No worries. I'm going to come up to the window when you're ready.
Cheers, thank you. With the ladies in the drive-through completely suspect about what we're doing, it's clear to see that this drive-through is not a task for the van. It's quite wide, there's lots of space, the curbs aren't sticky out, and it is able to smash it absolutely not a problem. But the only issue with this retail park is the speed bumps getting in and out of this place. That is another victory claimed against the transporter's name. We are smashing these daily tasks, and so far it's proven to be a good daily driver. I've got myself a coffee from a drive-through food service. I've gone shopping with the missus to buy rubbish from B&M, and we've parked in a multi-story car park. With another victory under the van's belt, we need to move on to the next challenge on the daily driver tick list. Now, that is fuel economy. As a petrol head, you don't worry about the fuel economy of a car. If you want a car that bad, you're going to buy it regardless of how economical it is, how financially viable it is, because if you want that car, nothing is going to stop you from getting it. Now, fuel economy wasn't even considered when I purchased this van. However, I did have in mind that it is only a 5-speed, it is a slug, and it will rev so much higher because I am limited to 5 gears. However, saying that, it has been pretty decent so far. Now, we have had a little bit of an issue, bit of a weird scenario with the fuel tank / the fuel gauge on this. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I put £100 worth of diesel in this thing not so long ago, and I think initially it only filled up half a tank. I put a poll on my story, and everyone couldn't believe how little diesel I actually got out of £100. Now, I was pretty shocked myself. I was expecting to get a full tank out of this, because if that was right, that was correct, and that was only going to give me half a tank on £100, that means £200 for a full tank is absolutely, that makes me take back everything I said a minute ago. As a petrol head, you don't worry about the fuel economy of a car. It isn't going to be a viable daily driver if it's going to use fuel that much. But then the next day went on, fuel gauge went up. Day went on after that, fuel gauge went up again, and I think it did also go up again the day after that to around about 3/4, just over 3/4. I have travelled 264 miles since I put £100 in. We're now on the half a tank mark, so we have used a quarter of a tank, if you like. So a quarter of a tank getting 264 miles is actually really good. Now, my maths aren't quick on the spot right now, but I will insert here the fuel pound per mile, if you like, on those statistics. But if that is right and the gauge was true when that got up to a quarter of a tank, 265 miles off a quarter of a tank is even better than my Tiguan. It's hard to say because we haven't got solid evidence or facts to say that what we're saying is true. But if that is the case, I would probably say that is another tick in the box for the transporter on fuel economy. It is smashing through these tasks like nobody's business. So far, I'm building a strong case for this van. The next hurdle, if you like, for the van, because I feel like this one will be a hurdle and it may well fall, is comfortability and practicality. Now, I put these two together because I feel like they come hand in hand. So, obviously, we know, I keep going on about it, the van is lowered, it's slammed, it's low suspension, so you're removing any sort of suspension, any sort of comfort, any sort of practicality when you do that. I wasn't blind to the fact that the fan was slammed when I bought it. I bought it with open arms, knowing that I was going to have issues when it came to this sort of thing. The reason I put the two together is because it's not practical, because you have to worry about speed bumps, you have to worry about jots in the road, you have to worry about the slight camber up a hill, you have to worry about everyday normal driving with this van. You can't just get in it, not think about what you're doing, you have to be on the ball all the time. And obviously comfortability is sacrificed by the fact that it's so low, because you feel every bump in the road, there is no suspension. You might be able to see it by the camera. I'm constantly doing this as I'm driving. You go over a bump or you go over a hilly bit of road and you're constantly up and down like this in the van, and it isn't comfortable, it isn't nice. At the end of the day, you have to accept these things when you have a vehicle that is this low. But don't forget, we're trying to see if this is a good daily driver or not. And when it comes to daily driving this thing and you're being thrown up and down, and it can make you feel a bit nauseous. My girlfriend feels a little bit seasick in this thing because you are being thrown up and down so much. It does have a negative factor on the usability of this as a daily driver. I don't care personally, because it makes me smile like this every time I drive it. People driving past, waving, putting their thumbs up because they think it's awesome. I personally am gonna have to give this a fail on this category, just because if it was anyone else other than myself, I would suggest it isn't a very practical in terms of the comfortability and practicality of it. We've come to the seaside town of Great Yarmouth for the 6th and final test for our Slam Sporter to find out whether it's a good daily driver. Parallel parking is something that most people absolutely hate doing, but it's the 6th and final challenge to find out whether the van is a good daily driver. So I found my parking space. We're going to give it a go and see if we can park in it. It does look like it is going to be a little bit tight though. Give this a go. We've got a car quite tight that side. I'm really cautious about. So we might struggle here. I can't see you getting in. Looking quite good. It looks a bit tight. I can't quite see in that mirror where that curb is though. See any issue? No, that's the curb. Ah, well, we're in and we've parallel parked. Challenge 6, parallel park the van. As you can see, we smashed it. Yeah, we smashed it into the curb, but we did end up successfully parking this thing in the streets of Great Yarmouth, which can be tricky on the best of days. Another tick in the box for the van. Now, if you've lost track and you weren't keeping an eye on the scores, that makes it 5 out of 6 for the Transporter in terms of daily practicality, but does it make it a good daily driver or not? Are they just statistics? Well, here's what I really think. Honestly, no, I don't think it is a good daily driver. Now, You might feel shocked by my response at this. Having driven my Tiguan now for a good 6 months, I've taken all the luxuries and mod cons of that car for granted. And it's only until you get in something like this, which is a little bit more basic, that you realise. Yes, I would absolutely daily drive this thing, not a problem, and I'd be happy to do so. But I feel a little bit spoilt by the fact that I've got a Tiguan there, and I would rather daily drive that. But I don't want to tarnish the reputation of this van because it is so capable. But it's just not for me. I like the thought of jumping in my car, whacking my heated seat on, changing the radio channel by a button on my steering wheel, not having to reach across and touch a button on the dashboard, and all these little mod cons just make it not for me. Because the van obviously doesn't have any of them. Well, that's that for the Transporter then. Let us know in the comments down below. Am I being too harsh? What would you think? Would you daily drive it? Let us know down below. But unfortunately, that is the end of this video. Now, don't hurry away too quickly. If you have enjoyed this video, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and head over to the channel and check out some of the other content on the van. Or failing that, head over to Auto Finesse or Lowdown Transporters for other similar automotive content that I'm sure you guys are going to love. But until next time, peace out.